It's really clean. Really, really clean.
Why is it clean? What does clean mean to you?
It's minimal from an icon perspective to me. Now, DJ, you know I love an icon. Love a visual, love an icon. But here, they've got obviously you've got your navbar at the bottom, which I think you might get to a point where you just ignore when you're on a certain screen. But you've got your favorite as the only icon. Everything else, well, there's like back and the little drop down, but it's very minimal from an icon perspective, which I quite like. And I think that really emphasizes you to obviously favorite it. Um, and yeah, it doesn't clutter the UI. So that's really good.
I think they really let the images shine here, right? Because if you look
Mm.
at all of the UI components, not just iconography, everything's very minimalistic. Like the font is super, like the kind of header and sort and filter typography is
Mm.
very clean and very sans serif. And then even the description font is like small and gray, so it doesn't take away a lot of the attention. You know, your eyes are naturally drawn just to the images, which is quite nice.
They have got that hierarchy pretty nicely done here. I think it reminds me kind of where Instagram went through their brand refresh and they minimized a lot of the UI components and it helped to make the pictures pop, which is
Mm.
kind of the point. It feels like a similar thing here where it's like, just like you said, Wana, it makes those actual clothes pop or the tops here pop.
Well, that's what I was going to mention. When you compare this to Domino's, it's quite interesting because Domino's had an add button which would go straight to the cart. You know, like we do have the cart here at the bottom of the screen, but their selected action is a favorite. And then the only other action you have is to actually click on the item, which would take you in, I guess, to choose size and other things. So it found some benefit, I guess, in actually prompting you to favorite this, as opposed to trying to funnel you to a checkout straight away.
Yeah, I think the use case is different, right? Because like for Domino's, you have your favorite pizza that you might want to go in and add to basket right away. Whereas this, it's not like you're going to come to this app and buy the same top again and again. So I think,
Yes.
you know, as a user as well, like I don't think there'd ever be a case where I just see a thumbnail of the top and I'm like, yeah, I want this. And like you still have to select the size, you still have to compare it to other tops.
It's interesting you say that though, because for example, you could have other actions here, right, where that heart is. Like you could have your size selection, for example. You could have an icon that shows you, you could hold and it could be a GIF of the top doing a 360 or something. Like I think there are other things that you could actually
Oh.
prompt the users to do rather than just favoriting it, I guess, as a secondary action. So
The other thing as well, one, you made a really good point about, yeah, pizza's something you come back to. Food, maybe it's like you want to pick and change, especially with fast fashion now, right? You don't want to, can't be having the same outfit at the same time. Jeez, what am I? um, but the other thing that it makes me think of is like when you think about Domino's, it makes me think about how crucial timing becomes with something like that. Because you're going to want pizza in a much smaller window of time. Whereas with online shopping, I mean, I've seen this stuff go on for hours. I've seen some people spend hours on this. I myself have spent hours on online shopping. So I think that leans itself to maybe not have such a huge emphasis on, hey, add to basket right now, go to
mm,
checkout right now. Because they know that you're gonna actually spend a lot longer on this, and like pizza, if you're like you're hungry, I was like I'm hungry now, and there's like a 30-minute, 1 hour window, or I'm drunk now, and I'm not gonna be drunk in 3 hours, kind of thing.
and I guess the heart does speak to that in terms of it's more of a save for later as opposed to a
Mm.
checkout now.
Yeah, I actually think the heart is a smart choice for encouraging browsing, right? Because you're like, instead of encouraging you to make a choice right now up front, it encourages you to like a few things, see what you like, compare them. And I think for an app, they get benefit from people spending more time on their app because it means they browse more, they probably find more things to buy and therefore purchase more. Like, I think at this point I would want to filter down, especially since I've seen the number at the top. I'm like, there's no
8,000.
way I'm scrolling through these.
Gotcha. Should we hit that filter then?
I think that's clearly what Oana said, Sakky.
Oh yeah, that's clearly what I'm doing, DJ.
Very, again, it's the minimalism, right? This is an incredibly simple list. Like,